أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Today is the 6th of Ramadan 1445 and the 16th of March 2024. We will continue to present our lectures about the principle, the divine principle, and about from an Islamic point of view, a new understanding, a new Islamic perspective to explain the divine principle. And today we are going to talk about the fall of man, the second part. Already we discussed the first part in our last lecture. As we have mentioned in the last lecture, that because the fall of man was committed by the reproductive organs, therefore the problem persisted throughout history from generation to generation. From that time, when Lucifer seduced Adam and Eve and guided them in astray, Iblis, Lucifer, he said to Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he thinks that God misguided him, he said to him, so as you have misguided me, I will definitely sit for them on your straight path. The straight path is the path to resurrection and perfection and completion. He said he will stand for them, he will be there waiting for them, blocking the road to the perfection. He will be like sabotaging this process. And this is exactly what he has done. And there is a similar actual story in the Bible in a different way. Anyhow, the Iblis, he made many declarations. He was very angry, very furious, and he said many things in front of God, in front of Allah. He said, I swear with you, with your almighty, your mighty name, to seduce them all human beings. He really promised God. He said to God, I'm going to seduce them all. You will never find a thankful one of them. Only a few, except a few. Also, he said to Allah, I will surely take for myself an imposed portion or an imposed share from them, from mankind. He said he is going to take a group, a portion, a sum of them to be his own people. Very strange. Huh? Also, he said, I will lead them astray. I will give them elusive hopes, and I will order them to do many bad things. One of them, to change your original creation. So he stood in a very opposition and very opposite position to God, and a big obstacle, a big problem for Adam perfection. Why? What is the motive of Iblis to do that? Why he did all these terrible mistakes? And because in the beginning they said Iblis was originally he was a good archangel. He was very high, in high position, well knowledge, and in a very high position, and well accepted and respected by all the angelic world. There must be some reason for him to do that. Of course, the first reason is his selfishness and his arrogance. His attitude toward Adam was so bad, and so a lot of enmity is there. Iblis, he evaluated himself by himself. This is number one. He evaluated himself by himself. and he think that God misguided him. He said to him, you misguide me. And for that reason, because you misguide me, it is you are responsible. So I'm going to do this and this for them. So that means he doesn't want to take responsibility. He put all the blame on God. He put the blame on Allah and on Adam and Eve. I'm not responsible. This is not my mistake. It is their mistake. It is your mistake. Anyhow, Allah said to Lucifer, what when he asked them to prostrate to Adam, he said to, and of course, Lucifer, of course, Iblis, he refused to prostrate to Adam. All the angels accepted after negotiation. In the beginning, even all the angels were hesitant to prostrate to Adam. But when Adam showed them his abilities and his internal qualities, then all the angelic world accepted, and they really reacted positively, and they bowed down to Adam, except Iblis, Lucifer. So then Allah asked him, what prevented you from prostrating when I commanded you? Why? Then he answered, I am better than him, because you created me from fire and you created him from clay or from dust, from the earth. So that he elevated himself. He thinks the fire is more, how to say, more valuable or more, I don't know, anyhow, in a better position, existential position than the clay or the mud or the dust or the earth. Hmm. Uh, Iblis, Iblis, he became angry because he thinks that Adam is going to take his position. And he thought that if he bow down, prostrate to Adam, that means he is giving his position to Adam. So he became so angry because he was in the position number one, and suddenly he found himself in position number two. And actually, this is not easy. It is really not easy to be number one and then suddenly you find yourself number two. It needs a lot of courage, a lot of wisdom, and a lot of guidance to accept. Because if you accept, then you will be again together with number one. You become also number one with him, together with him. Anyhow, when he seduced Adam and Eve, all these feelings of arrogance and selfishness and all this kind of internal negative feelings, it all came to Adam and Eve. It became part of human nature. All of us today are suffering from that situation. Anyhow, due to that fall, the umbilical cord, the spiritual umbilical cord between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and man, that cord was severed, you can say severed, or almost cut, not completely, almost cut. So we lost our way. We lost our source of life and love and lineage and grace. So Lucifer, Iblis, he destroyed all this internal communication between man and Allah. Anyhow, as we know that Allah created the angels before other creatures, actually. He created them. And he really, he created them like servants, messengers, and also he created them like a tools, like means through them. God want to finish the finishing of the creation. He wants the angels to do the finishing of the creation. And they become like messengers They take God's orders and God's directions to the creation. Maybe even including Adam and Eve before growing, when Adam and Eve were growing, maybe the angelic world was responsible for how in Adam and Eve teaching and education and guiding them. Possible, because it seems that according to some saying that Iblis he never cheated Adam or deceived him, and because he was very well knowledge and educated by God, he knows so many things about the creation. And always whatever he said, it came out true. This is why Adam and Eve, when he gave them that advice to eat from the tree, so Adam and Eve might be they thought, yeah, he never lied to us. Maybe it's true. Some people say like that. Anyhow, God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, before he created Adam, he told the angels, he informed them, I'm going to create my Khalifa, my second, like a second self, my physical representative. I will give him the earth and he will be in charge of everything in my place and on my place. Surely I'm making in the earth a Khalifa, like a higher or vicegerent. And then, of course, as we know that the angels are first they protested, but finally they accepted. But anyhow, and they prostrated, but Lucifer, I believe, didn't prostrate. So the angels, they prostrated before Adam and Eve, except Iblis. He rebelled against his Lord's command. And this is the core point of the fall of man, the rebellion of Iblis. It is not an event happened in the past and finished, khalas. No, it is a problem that existed with us till today. So we can say that the first motivation of the fall was Iblis' arrogance. He was arrogant and he was selfish. And he is arrogant and selfish, actually. And the first motivation is the problem of love. Iblis thought that he lost, he's going to lose his position. And also he felt that his position was jeopardized, not stable like before. And also he felt like lacking of love and taken care by God. He thought that God is no longer taking care of me. Now he has another object and whom he thought he put him in a better position than me. And then at least he felt like losing God's love, like losing God's care, and also losing his position. And all this together, these feelings really guided him to commit this great, terrible mistake. In the beginning, before Adam and Eve came out in the creation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was in the top here. He is in charge of everything. And under him is Iblis. Iblis is he received direct directions, orders. And of course, he received direct care and love from Allah. And Iblis, he control and supervise all the angelic world. And the whole angelic world control and supervise all the creation. So Iblis was really originally he was in a very high position. They call him the star of the dawn. And they call him the peacock of worshippers. Peacock of worshippers, that means he is very beautiful and proud of himself when he really is putting his feather like peacock when he put his feather like this. So they call him Ta'us al-Ubbad, the peacock of the servants of God. And he is a star of the dawn because he knows so many things. He is well knowledged. He knows. This is his position in the beginning before Adam came out. But suddenly, of course, it is not suddenly actually. God told the angel, I'm going to do so and so. And then the new position became like this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the top. Then man became next to God, next to Allah. Then the angels and then other creation. This is the situation which Iblis doesn't like. He didn't like this situation. He didn't accept this. He objected. He objected. No, he said no. He said no, I don't want. I don't want. This is the core problem of the fall of man. It started from Iblis. And therefore, Iblis, it is mentioned in the Bible, Iblis, he went to Hawa first. Because Hawa was more near to him for many reasons. And also, it was more easy to approach her. And he built a relation of give and take between him and Eve, Hawa. And he told her and educated her and showed her how she can make a relation with Adam, as of course Adam is Eve's future husband, you know. So really he built a relation between him and Eve. We call this spiritual fall, because they have a great give and take action between them, between Lucifer as a spiritual being and between Eve as a human being. And then this is why in the Bible they said Iblis, he gave Eve the fruit, the serpent gave Eve the fruit and she ate it. And then she took the fruit and gave it to Adam, and Adam ate it also. That means this is what we call it the spiritual fall between the archangel, between Iblis and Eve. And this you call it the physical fall between Adam and Eve. Spiritual fall and physical fall. Lucifer, Iblis, was not responsible, and he is still not responsible. Iblis is not responsible, but man is responsible. Man was created with the principle and heavenly laws. And if man kept the principle and followed heavenly laws, his physical existence will reach perfection automatically. His body, I mean, his body. But man cannot reach spiritual perfection without fulfilling his own responsibility. This is a very important point, actually. Man cannot be perfect internally without taking responsibility. This is why Allah gave Adam the commandment, don't taste this tree. Don't taste it. Actually, he said to him, don't come near it. لا تقربا. He didn't say just don't taste. لا تقربا. Don't come near that tree. Never come near that tree. That is one point. The other point is that the creation was really founded on love, the principle of love. The principle of love is dominion principle. He has the higher authority. When love appears, everything will come under love. The universe was created through love. This is why why Allah created the universe in pairs, in dual nature, internal and external, positive and negative, so that they can have a give and take action. This give and take action, which we have explained in the principle of creation in the early lectures, this give and take action is the sort of love actually. In the world of minerals, it is a kind of give and take action, attraction. But in human being, it is love actually. And the top of this love is between man and woman horizontally, and between God and man vertically. This is the top of true love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So originally our relation with God should be built on love actually, more than any other thing. This is the value of the creation and the value of man. So therefore love, of course we are talking about true love because these days there is many kind of love, many different, fallen love and selfish love is quite rampant these days. But what we are talking about is true love. What is true love? True love is a selfless, altruistic. True love is living for the sake of others. Therefore, true love is the purpose of creation. The creation was made to fulfill true love. And then this love is the core of the universe. The most important essence, the essence of the universe, and it is the essence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And therefore, true love is the source of life and happiness for Allah and for man and for every being, even for the angels, even for Iblis himself, if he accepted true love. And therefore, true love has the upper position. But of course, Iblis, he rejected God's love and he created a false love. He created a fallen love, selfish love. Also, we have to remember that when God said to Adam, don't touch, don't come near the tree, this order, this commandment is not eternal. When the time comes, God will allow them to eat, to touch, and to come near the tree. So this commandment is really given for a short time, a certain period. We call it the growing period. This is why Allah, he made that commandment for Adam and Eve become like an object of faith, because Adam and Eve, they have to participate in creating themselves internally. And this foundation, this internal foundation, the internal connecting pipes between man and Allah need to be built also by man. From God's side, it was built completely. Then man has to build it internally. This mission, this job is not done by God. This is my responsibility. He has to build this, and God told him, build this relation. Don't be busy with other things. Don't go to that love. Don't make mistake. Just concentrate. Do your job and wait. If Adam wait, he could be really connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But actually all this foundation was shattered and destroyed by Iblis. This is why faith is very important, because through faith we build this internal foundation. Through faith we build this internal connection, this internal invisible, beyond time and space. We build this relation, vertical relation, with our origin. Therefore, the commandment is just for a period of time. It is not eternal. If Adam was patient, he could have, if he really had been patient, he could have realized really the ideal of creation and become perfected human being. But Adam didn't. Then we can say that the power of love, here we can see, this is a principle, and this is love. This is kind of a balance. So the weight of principle is less than the weight of love. The weight of love, the magnitude of love, the power of love is much more than the principle. This is why Allah gave Adam the commandment. He gave them the principle. He put them in the principle of creation, with the principle of creation, and then he gave them commandment. Don't touch. Don't come near that tree. So if Adam together, the principle and the commandment were put together, they can really overcome the power of love. This is why God gave Adam the commandment. It's like that. So Adam and Eve, they are growing from the beginning on the straight path. This period is period of fruitfulness. You have to be fruitful. This is the period to be fruitful. Adam has to be fruitful. And to be fruitful, he has to go through 3 stages: formation, growth, and completion. And this period is a period of indirect dominion. In this period, God can communicate with Adam and Eve only through commandment. He didn't show them that why. He didn't tell them why they shouldn't eat. Of course, according to the divine principle, according to the teaching of Father Moon, he said, Allah, he told Adam and Eve not to touch each other. He didn't say to them, don't touch tree or don't eat from that tree. It's not like that. He told Adam, don't touch Eve, and told Eve, don't touch Adam. This is the original commandment. Maybe he didn't explain them in details. It is not clear, but he really told them clearly, don't touch each other. And this is the period of growth of indirect dominion. In this period, God can only communicate with people through commandment, through orders, through prohibition. Do this and don't do that. This is the period we call it the period of the law, the period of Sharia. This is why the Sharia, because the first Sharia of God, don't touch the tree. This is the first Sharia. But later, when Moses came, the Sharia became more complicated. There is so many things to do and many things not to do. And also the Islamic Sharia came out also with so many things to do and many things not to do. But originally the Sharia was don't touch the tree. So here God said to Adam, Allah told Adam, do not eat. And of course, Iblis gave them a different point of view. He has a different point of view. He said to them, no. God, Allah asked you not to touch this tree because he doesn't want you to become eternal and doesn't want to give you the kingdom of eternity and non-decaying kingdom. Because if you eat from this tree, you will become like him. This is according to the Bible. You will be like him. Your eyes will be open like him. And Allah doesn't want you to be like that. So he cheated them. He deceived them. If Adam and Eve hadn't eat from the fruit, they could have reached this position here, perfection and direct dominion. And when they came here, they are free to eat. They are free to eat. But anyhow, Adam was growing in this straight path. This is the straight path. So Iblis came to them here in the beginning of the third stage. They are jumping to become adult. And he really cheated them and deceived them. And he sent them down, back to the base of the base, to the lower of the lower. And so man has to start again from below the zero. This period here, this place here, this position here, this position of perfection, spiritual perfection, is called resurrection. Because before this, in this period, Adam's spirit is not complete. Because it is not connected with Allah completely, fully. But if they really reach this point, then the spirit of Adam will be connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fully. And this is state of existence will be the state of resurrection, of complete resurrection, because Adam's spirit will be complete spirit, perfected spirit. So Adam will become perfected human beings, and they will be connected completely in a full relationship between Allah and between man. This is the ideal, and this is the original creation. Before the fall of man, and if man become perfect, if Adam was resurrected and became perfected Adam, and Eve was resurrected and became perfected Eve, then they have full relation with Allah. Then when they come together under the supervision of Allah as a husband and wife, then they will bear children of goodness. And by this, they will have a proper vertical love and proper horizontal love. The vertical love with God will be perfect, and the horizontal love with Adam and Eve will be perfect. And then Adam and Eve could have the authority and the ability to to raise their children and to teach them and to guide them to perfection. So as that, with these qualifications, then all of us could have been perfected in a very easy way, simple way, straightforward. Therefore, through this four-position foundation, Allah was planning to dominate the whole creation, to dominate man, and through dominion over man, God wants to dominate the whole creation, because man will become like the physical manifestation of God subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will be the Khalifa, the representative, the governor, the supervisor of whole creation with the authority given to him from God, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But actually, what has happened is actually the opposite. Satan took the central position, and he took Eve first, and then Eve took Adam, and then Adam and Eve, they build a relation, horizontal relation, centering on Satan, centering on Iblis, and then they brought children with false love, false life, false truth, and false lineage. And therefore the children, because Adam and Eve were divided, so also their children were divided, they were destroyed, they were broken. This you call it spiritual death. This is the word which was realized by Adam and Eve actually. This is the kingdom of the devil. This is not the kingdom of God. We do not belong to God. We belong to Iblis actually. ومن يتخذ الشيطان يعني الذي يتخذ الشيطان وليا، القرآن بيقول فقد خسر خسرانا مبينا. الخسران المبين يعني in a serious loss, and this is our situation actually. We are in a serious loss because we took Iblis as a supervisor and a protector and a central figure instead of God. اتخذنا الشيطان أولياء من دون الله. And therefore, through his dominion over man, Satan contaminates the whole creation. So this whole creation actually now is under control of Iblis, not under control of God. This is why now we can understand why all these difficulties, troubles, crises, wars, violences, diseases, even catastrophes, the natural catastrophes, all these problems because this world is under control of Iblis. It is not under control of Allah. This is the kingdom of Iblis, and it is hell. Because Iblis is the central figure in hell, and he dragged Adam and Eve with him to hell at that time. This is why all mankind were born in hell. This is why the Quran said every human being has to go through hell. وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا كَانَ عَلَى رَبِّكَ حَتْمًا مَقْضِيًّا ثم نجي الذين اتقوا ونذر الظالمين فيها جثيا. Therefore, man was really, all of us now as fallen people, we were born inside hell. And God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is working so seriously and patiently to take us from this hellish situation. So the original man, Adam, in the garden, it looks like an olive tree, like olive tree. If this is situation, this is a position of Adam before the fall, and because Adam is that tree, he's a tree of life, and he's a tree of eternity, and the tree of both of them, they are the tree of eternity and the tree of non-decaying kingdom. And therefore, after Adam and Eve, they fell from the Garden of Eden and they were expelled from heaven to hell. The ultimate purpose and the core purpose and the main line of heavenly providence is to guide man to grow again, to regain his position as Khalifa, to regain his position as representative of God, and to regain his position as an original olive tree. The original tree again. So this is the purpose of history and the purpose of the providence of God. As I have mentioned, the top of this growth period is resurrection, when man perfected himself and came out from the growing period and became completely fruitful. Here he achieved resurrection. And therefore we can say resurrection is something internally proceeding to God and connected to God, to be connected with God. Therefore, it's very interesting if Adam and Eve, if they didn't eat from the tree, they didn't touch the tree, they didn't taste the tree, if they hadn't done that, they could have realized and achieved resurrection in their lifetime, long time ago. Adam and Eve would have been resurrected and achieved completion and became in direct relation with God. This is what Adam and Eve should have realized long time ago. And if they had done that, all of us would have been born in the realm of perfection and resurrection. And therefore we can see, and because Adam and Eve couldn't realize that position, therefore history continuously was working to resurrect man. And therefore you can say resurrection as the last days and the final hour and all these promises, future promises, came out because of the fall of man, become necessary because of the fall of man. If there is no fall, you don't need resurrection. We don't need religion. We don't need last days. We don't need a Messiah. Because we will be with God, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And therefore we can say that resurrection is the perfection of the spirit. Our spirit becomes life again. What is the meaning of life again? Connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We behave as God wants us to behave. We talk as God wants us to talk. We walk as God wants. Everything, our movement, our stillness, all will be related to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, Adam and Eve were rushed by Lucifer, by Satan, to build a sexual relationship, actually, premature relationship. Of course, originally, in the future, Adam is the husband of Eve, and Eve is the wife of Adam. But actually, the timing is a problem. The timing is a problem. And actually, Iblis, he committed more serious problem. Yani. He really guided them in a very, very destructive way, actually. And he shared with them his evil idea. And maybe, yeah, something like that. He taught them. Surah Al-A'raf, in Al-A'raf really explains that Iblis, he stripped them from their clothing. ينزع عنهما لباسهما. He stripped them from their clothes to show them their hidden parts, their sexual parts, their physical side. Because it seems that originally man, if he is in the original position, the spirit is like a clothing for the physical body. And our physical existence was completely under the dominion of our spiritual existence. And actually now the situation became the opposite. Everything was upside down. And therefore he stole their position. And he took them. He took their lineage. He took their descendants. And he took everything. He is a stealer. He is a liar. And he is a fornicator. This is why we call him al-Rajim. Al-Shaytan al-Rajim. Al-Rajim literally means the stoned one. The one who deserves to be stoned. And of course, we said that stoning is the punishment of fornication. Stoning is the punishment of fornication. Ash-Shaytan al-Rajim. Because the Rajm is stoning the fornicating people. And therefore, because of the fall of man, man died spiritually. We died spiritually, and this is why this necessitated the need. This brought out the need for resurrection. You need to be resurrected. You need to be given life again. Iblis said to God, "This is the one whom you have honored above me, about man. You forgot, you misguided me, and then you have honored those people above me. If you respite me for a time until the day of resurrection, I will just let me test them, and I will show you, I will prove to you that they don't deserve to be your Khalifa." The Quran says so. Actually, it's very funny. What he said came true, actually. Well, the Quran said, وَلَقَدْ صَدَّقَهُمْ إِبْلِيسُ ظَنَّهُ. He said, Iblis' point of view came out true on human beings. Of course, this is not the whole story, because many people came out from Adam and Eve, and they are really perfected and very high position people like the prophets, and like the saints, and but generally, most of the people really, they follow Iblis. And he said to God, respite me to the day of the resurrection. I will surely bring them all and his descendants under my knees, under my sway, except, except, not, he cannot, because he knows that he cannot take them all, except but a few. And then Allah said to him, okay, go and do what you want. My people, from Adam and Eve, there is always some people who can never follow you. They always follow me. Maybe if a chance came, I will bring out God answer to Iblis in the Quran, because it's kind of a challenge. And God accepted Iblis' challenge, said, okay, go and do what you want. And you will find out that you cannot take them all. And finally, I will take everything back to its original position, because your plans are all weak. You cannot get victory. No way for you to get victory. Very interesting. Therefore, resurrection is the final stage in Adam's life. And because Adam couldn't realize resurrection, therefore resurrection was extended to the future. One day in the future, mankind will be resurrected. They will be resurrected one time and come back to God. So this day of resurrection was delayed. Yawm al-Qiyamah, Yawm al-Bas, was delayed. It should have been done during Adam and Eve lifetime. But because Adam and Eve couldn't take responsibility and they followed Iblis and they they fell down, therefore it was delayed to the future. So it's like this. In this period, Allah asked Adam, don't not to eat. This is a growing period, as we have told before. It is the preparation for resurrection, and you call it the period of to be fruitful. Because the second step to multiply is here and have dominion. But Adam and Eve, before becoming fruitful, before becoming perfect, they jump to the position of multiplication and dominion. And this is a problem. Lucifer, he cheated them and he misguided them. And if Adam and Eve didn't follow Lucifer, they could have eaten from the fruit. They could have eaten from the fruit in the proper way and the right time. So here we can stop here, and then we can follow this lecture in the next time. Thank you so much, and see you again in the next lecture, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.